Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Today, Chief Bowers will introduce the Winnipeg Police Service's first external Indigenous Relations Advisor. We will hear from Sheila North and Marcus Chambers, Chair of the Winnipeg Police Board. We also have present members of the board, as well as members of Sheila North's family. Now I would like to invite Elder Mike Calder to the podium to deliver a land acknowledgement and deliver the blessing.
Bonjour, kiwit makwad istakas, makete makwad odam, I acknowledge that we live and work on Treaty 1 territory, the traditional lands of the Ojibwe, the Cree, the Oji-Cree, the Coda, Dene, and the homeland of the Red River Métis. And I also like to acknowledge Treaty, Shoal Lake 40 for our gift of life that we give, which is our water. Chimigwech. Okay, Creator, I say Chimigwech for this day. It's a long day in coming. I think, the TRC a long time ago, we asked for this day to come. And now today's the day. And our sister has took it upon herself to accept this challenge. I say challenge in a light way, because this is based on a lot of communication. And we need it from all levels and all levels of government, that we have to come together and make this work. So with that, I want to say a quick prayer. Kichitu Manatu, Creator, grandmothers, grandfathers, watch over everyone in this room, outside this room. Watch over Sheila and her family. Give her the guidance and the protection and the knowledge and the wisdom to carry on this huge undertaking that we all have to work with and work together with and make this come to one where we can bring Winnipeg into the need that it is right now with people in this room, outside this room. And we look forward to see the numbers. We look forward to see the people. We look forward to see Sheila out there with the face of the Winnipeg Police Force. She may wish all my relations. I hope.
Thank you, Elder Calder. I'd now like to invite Chief Gene Bowers to the podium.
Good morning. Thank you all for joining us today for this very important day. So today I'm excited to announce the appointment of an external Indigenous Relations Advisor to the Winnipeg Police Service. Since becoming chief, I have indicated that my vision for our service includes the Winnipeg Police Service becoming leaders in reconciliation. And that reconciliation is woven into the fabric of our service. We have taken great strides towards this goal through the excellent work and significant contributions of our members. Their level of commitment and care is exceptional. However, more work needs to be done. Reconciliation is more than words. It requires action. Reconciliation requires continued growth and examination of issues from all perspectives. In order to broaden our understanding and continue to build trust within our Indigenous communities, we will continue to use the guiding principles of the Aboriginal Justice Inquiry, the National Inquiry to Missing and Murdered Indigenous Women and Girls, and to LGBTQ+, the Truth and Reconciliation Calls to Action, and the United Nations Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act. We are committed to strengthening relationships with Indigenous communities and leaders. It is my hope and intention that with the guidance of an external Indigenous advisor, we will ensure we get there so that all Indigenous people are heard, feel valued, and most importantly, are safe. So, to help guide us further down the path of reconciliation, I am pleased to announce that Sheila North has been retained as an external Indigenous Relations Advisor. Sheila brings a deep expertise in Indigenous knowledge, engagement, and leadership. Between 2015 and 2018, Sheila served as the first female Grand Chief of MKO. She is a former journalist and host with CBC, a past political commentator with CTV, entrepreneur, Cree translator, filmmaker, and author. In 2023, Sheila served as the Director of Missing Children, Residential Schools and Engagement at the International Commission on Missing Persons. Most recently, Sheila served as an Executive Director of External Indigenous Relations at the University of Winnipeg. Over the coming weeks and months, Sheila will be consulting directly with my executive management team and myself on numerous strategic initiatives specific to Indigenous engagement, relations, and reconciliation. Before having Sheila come up and speak, I would like to thank Elder Mike Calder for providing ceremony a couple days ago to start our journey in a traditional way. Thank you, sir. So, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Sheila North.
That's a good morning, Dakino. Sheila North is Negasun Banbonibi, Cree Nation Inose. Imminent Utebet Dianos, Nista, Bates, Huano, Samagansi. Igamin and Minton, Nusa Megan and Dana, Sevetega, and Nitogan. Hi, everyone. My name is Sheila North. I'm from the Banbonibi Cree Nation, and I'm very happy to be here. My one elder that I cherish the most, he passed away recently. He taught me that I have to use my Cree language every time I speak in public first to honor my sovereignty as a Cree person. So I embrace that teaching, and I thank you for having me here. Police Chief Powers, members of the Winnipeg Police, Police Board, Winnipeg Police Board as well. Thank you for being here, and members of the media and other staff, and my family. My friend Damien is here as a support of my daughter Trisha and my grandson, who I'm very happy is with us, because another elder has taught me and lots of others that when we have children present in a room, you kind of hear them. They have the least amount of power in a room, but they have a lot of attention. They draw a lot of attention to remind all of us why we're here, why we do anything that we do. So I don't mind him making these little noises that he's making, because he's really engaged, and he actually thinks he's a police officer. So he dresses like one every other day. So, which is one of the reasons that I accepted the challenge to work with Winnipeg Police. But in all seriousness, I know that we have strained relationships between Winnipeg Police and Indigenous people in our city and even in our province. We have a lot of work to do. I myself have had really good experiences with Winnipeg Police. I felt protected many times. I felt helped many times, but I've also been disappointed many times. And I've been made to feel vulnerable a few times as well in my journey with Winnipeg Police and other police agencies across Canada. So I know that there is a lot of work to do to repair some of these relationships that have gone astray for many, many generations. But we also know that policing and the role of policing is very important. Even in Cree, we have a Cree word for police, and that's Samaganus. So that tells me that we have very important roles as police. They have important roles as police officers to keep our cities and our communities and our families safe. And with that, I accepted the challenge to work with Winnipeg Police to be a sounding board, to implement the plans that I know that Police Chief has already, and in a good way. And I know that we have a lot of people around us that will help us. It's not going to be just me, and I look forward to the challenges. And I last thing I say is I know I'm not naive to the fact that it won't be hard many times, and it'll be easy many times. But I'm here to let people know that we are we are willing to work, and I'm willing to work with our people and with police and with our province and our city to try and make our lives safer and better for all citizens, including our children and our grandchildren, especially mine if it's in the daughter. So thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, Sheila. And now I'd like to invite Winnipeg Police Board Chair Marcus Chambers to the podium.
Thank you very much. I'd like to begin my remarks today by thanking Elder Mike Calder for the land acknowledgement and for the blessing that you provided today. I'm also very thrilled to see the Winnipeg Police Board here in full presence, starting with Diane Redsky, Amit Kapoor, Daphne Penrose, Damon Johnson, and our board executive director, Jeffrey Wiggett. I'm thrilled to bring remarks on behalf of the board as we gather here today to mark a significant and a positive step forward in the ongoing commitment to building trust and strengthening relationships between the Winnipeg Police Service and Indigenous communities here in the city of Winnipeg. Today's announcement builds on the important work in reconciliation that WPS members and leaders have achieved already and are committed to into the future. On behalf of the board, I commend Chief Bowers on bringing in a tremendously experienced, knowledgeable, and passionate leader in Ms. North to lend an Indigenous lens to the leadership of the Winnipeg Police Service. The board has heard consistently through our community engagement that our police service must not only protect, but also support our communities in a way that respects cultures, values, expectations, and lived experiences of those diverse populations. As the Canadian city with the largest urban Indigenous population in this nation, it is particularly true for how police and the Indigenous communities interact. Ms. North's expertise in building bridges between Indigenous and non-Indigenous communities will be of great value for our police service and for our city. The Chief's appointment of Ms. North reflects the Winnipeg Police Board's priorities in learning and engaging with Indigenous peoples to ensure that the Winnipeg Police Service is responsive to the unique needs and experiences. We are confident that with the guidance of Ms. North, the Winnipeg Police Service will continue to make strides in achieving a strong, respectful, and inclusive approach to policing in Winnipeg. Meaningful reconciliation is ongoing, and it requires action, dialogue, and partnerships, such as we're witnessing today. Further steps are being taken on that journey. In summary, in days of old, sailors used to use the North Star as their guidance. We have our own North Star. Thank you, merci, and miigwech.
Now we can open up to questions for any of our guests.
I suppose this is both for Chief Bowers and Ms. North. I mean, what's the work going to look like going forward?
Well, definitely, as Ms. North said, that we have a lot of work to do. So we're going to really work on relationships with the Indigenous community and opening up that communication. We're going to be developing a Indigenous Advisory Action Circle that'll definitely have input into how we operate as a police service and how we police, the Indigenous communities. So again, lots of work to do. It's exciting. I really, Sheila brings that experience from the North. We're looking at, recruitment of Indigenous officers and retention of those officers. So lots of things to work on. There's not a lack of work, that's for sure.
I think there's a lot to build on as well. We know that there's challenges, of course, but there are also a lot of good things that have happened and are happening now at the Winnipeg Police as of late. And so there is a lot to build on, and we have a lot to work with as well. We have many guiding posts like the TRC, the Aboriginal Justice Inquiry, UNDRIP, and the MMIW calls to justice as well that tell us how we should conduct ourselves. And I think we have a lot of work to do in that, just that alone to chop away.
What's the Indigenous component of the police service right now? And Chief, where would you like to see that get to as far as percentage of recruits?
Well, not just specific recruits, but as far as Indigenous.
On the job?
Yeah, we're about 12%. So that's 12% of the police force are Indigenous. And then they're at, we have people at every level of the service, I believe, right up to the executive are Indigenous, and definitely have done great work for the service. And again, I wanted to bring that external lens to us. You know, we've all been police. I've been a police officer for a long time, and sometimes, you know, you get that you know, sometimes you get a narrow focus, and I really wanted to broaden it.
So for you, Ms. North, I've always known you to have lots of ideas. Is this a relationship where you can go, Chief, perhaps the WPBF, Winnipeg Police Service should be doing this, as opposed to kind of being reactive? You get to be proactive and basically say, here's my top 10.
That's the conversations we've had. I'm going to be reciprocal. I think I represent what community says and what community thinks in a lot of ways, not of course to the exact point, but you know, I bring that to the table to make sure that, you know, ideas and also all the calls from all these reports have made, and a lot of it is, you know, to make sure that police forces, and in this case Winnipeg Police Force, shows that level of respect and dignity for Indigenous people, and we have it there, but I think we can improve it more.
How do we get there in that sense? I remember my very first ride along 30 years ago, and I sat in the back of a WPS cruiser with a young Indigenous woman who was hurling insults, and it was icy all around. And I just thought that this is the way that WPS and the relationship is. It has improved in some respects, but it hasn't in others. How do we get there?
Yeah, I totally agree, and we can only give it a really good try because it's worth it. I think we all have a responsibility, not just the two of us. I think the whole police force, but also the public also has a huge responsibility to get to a different point, to get to a different level of our relationships, because we need protection and we need care for our families, and that's the most important thing.
As Mr. Jake touched on, I mean, you know, this, obviously it ebbs and flows, but there's been strain for a long time between police and Indigenous communities. I mean, why now? What preceded this appointment and creation of this new position?
Well, it's something that I've dedicated myself to, that it's important. And this is, you know, one of the steps, and a very important, crucial step that needed to happen so that we can move forward. You know, like someone had mentioned, we have the largest Indigenous population, urban Indigenous population in the nation. I think it's extremely important that those individuals are protected, felt heard, and have a say in how that policing is conducted within this community.
Chief Bowers, I'm just wondering as well, do other jurisdictions have a role like this that you maybe took some inspiration from, or?
Again, I don't know that. It just was something that I had wanted to do for a long time, and being the chief now, I have that opportunity to do it.
Chief, and Ms. North, you know, there's a big emphasis on this being an external Indigenous relations advisor. Was that a focus going into this, knowing that it had to be external, or, you know, Indigenous communities just, you know, wouldn't have that same belief behind it?
Well, I think it's important to have that external lens again. You know, we have very qualified members from the Indigenous community. Bonnie Emerson is standing behind you. She's with our community engagement and Indigenous liaison. great work within the service, but we need that external lens. We may see things differently, and obviously I think we do. And maybe we're not just hearing what the message is from the community. And I think it's important to have somebody with that external viewpoint and connection to the community, especially the north, because a lot of the members come to the city from the north, and sometimes there's dangers and all those types of things. So I think it's important we have that lens and that perspective.
And, what was the question?
Just focus on it being an
Oh,
external.
external, yes. Absolutely. I think I have been critical of police in the past as a reporter, as a citizen, as a Grand Chief. And I think that's an important role for people that have a position to speak out. They should. And I do feel that is still a position for me to be able to speak out. And external, I think, is very important because I want that level of separation where I am able to look at work and initiatives or things that happen in a critical way if I have to, and be completely honest and truthful and critical if I have to. And I think that's the conversations that we've had right from the beginning, that we're not naive to the fact that could happen.
Ms. North, can you sort of give a breakdown of what the work you're going to be doing will look like? Like, are you going to be out in the community talking to folks, or what kind of sort of thing you're going to be doing?
Yeah, some of it will. We want to strike off an advisory action circle. So we'll be looking to fill the action circle, but also to implement some of the work that they might, task the service with, and to accompany a police chief to different events. Like today, we're going to be around this week at the Assembly of First Nations. We'll be at the golf tournament, and we'll go to the
I'm
ground.
not golfing.
Me neither. We'll be going to the grad entry and just making those introductions and reintroductions, because I think that police chief has genuine interest and heart to engage Indigenous people, and that starts with leadership. And I think if he can get through to the leadership, in which he has in a lot of ways so far, so I'm happy to support that, and I know the board is as well, and they have tremendous people on the board that will help them.
Just as a follow-up, what would your message be to members of Indigenous communities across the province, I guess, about why they should trust you in this role, and sort of what you're going to bring to here that can sort of earn their trust over time?
Well, I guess the biggest thing I can call upon is that I'm a cook. That has been my new driving force as of late, since the last 5 years. It's changed a lot of my perspective in everything that I do and decisions that I make for myself and for my life. And I operate as that. I hope that people will see that I have the best interests at heart for our youngest ones, but also our city and our province. I have been disappointed many times and have been encouraged many times by police forces, and I want to continue that, the challenge, and to try and improve that relationship. Because if I'm not willing to help, then I can't criticize. And so I hope that people will understand and realize and help me to bridge those gaps.
I guess as well, like, do you have a timeline of sort of when this all came together for you? Like, how long kind of has this been in the works for you?
Very recently. We didn't really know each other before, and we met after he was hired as the police chief. And my biggest encouragement for me as well to work with him is the people around him, and the Indigenous people, especially Indigenous women, that support him and encourage him. They're the same ones that I value and value their opinion of. So if they believe in him, then I believe it.
Just to be clear, Chief Powers, creating this role was your idea. It wasn't something that preceded your appointment. Things were made the
Yeah, correct.
A couple more questions?
Is there anything else you think we should know about this new role?
Well, I just think, I just hope people have an open mind to what, you know, we're trying to accomplish here, and that it does come for caring for the Indigenous community. And I hope that through this journey that we'll get, you know, cooperation. And again, you know, yeah, we may not see eye to eye on certain things, but that's definitely, I think that communication and collaboration is super important moving ahead. Great. Thank you for having me.